The UN is demanding the immediate release of a group of its peacekeepers taken hostage by Syrian rebels in the Golan Heights. The militants say they're using the observers as human shields and will hold them until Syrian government forces pull back from a nearby village. RT's Middle East correspondent Paul Aslia has the latest.
All 21 UN personnel were unarmed. They're all from the Philippines, and we've heard from the Philippines Foreign Office, who has demanded their immediate release. The Philippines government says that they are being treated well, that negotiations are underway to try and secure their release. The militants are admitting that they took these UN personnel to try and prevent an attack by Assad's loyalists. In other words, what we're seeing is that the rebel forces are using this UN team as human shields. Now, the UN has, of course, condemned this action. We've heard criticism, particularly from Moscow at the United Nations.
There is no reason at all, under any circumstances, any kind of a sick imagination to try to harm those people. So clearly gross disrespect for United Nations, gross disrespect of international norms of behavior.
Now, the United Nations is currently also involved in negotiating their immediate release. According to the United Nations, its team were on a regular mission in the area. We're talking about an area not far from the Israeli-Syrian border. It happened earlier on Wednesday when they were taken hostage.
Leading up to the hostage crisis, Western powers and their Arab allies have been stepping up support for the rebels. Earlier, my colleague Bill Dodge spoke to RT's correspondent Irina Galushko about the ramifications of increased foreign backing for the opposition.
We do know where they get their arms from. At least there has been plenty of information to deduce that from. We do know that Saudi Arabia, as well as Qatar, as well as Turkey, Libya, and the United States have all offered some sort of aid, financial or military, in one way or another, to the Syrian rebels. We don't know exactly how much has been shipped to these countries. We do know that, for example, Qatar has made a latest offer to the Syrian rebels, which amounts to $100 million. And of course, there is also talk from the United Kingdom, where William Hague has already said that he thinks the UK should step up their aid towards the Syrian rebels as well. And he is talking about something in the amount of roughly $19.5 million. And that would include armored vehicles, body armor, search and rescue, and disease prevention. So there is plenty of aid coming to the Syrian rebels. And really, countries do not seem to shy away from offering it to them.
John Kerry, he's expressed confidence that weapons are going to the right people. So who then are these so-called right people taking UN peacekeepers hostage?
And that actually should be the first question that should come to mind, because obviously when John Kerry is talking about the right people, he means that he hopes that the aid does not go towards hardline Islamic jihadists, which there, as reports show, there is plenty of in Syria. And these are the types of people that the US, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the rest of them have been supporting and given them plenty of aid. They have offered them basically everything they have on the table. And now we can assume that it's safe for them to say that they have, in fact, created a monster, because now these very people are taking hostage international peacekeeping troops, which are on the ground and really have no role in the Syrian conflict whatsoever.
Beirut-based analyst Kamel Wazni says countries arming the rebels should be held accountable for the hostage crisis.
This is an issue where you have a kidnapper. They taken hostage. Those hostages belong to the UN. The UN should deal with these countries who have influence of these people who've been given them the money and the weapons. And we have to mention Turkey also is one of these sponsors. Yesterday we had a meeting of the Arab League, and clearly they said they can supply money and weapon, and they should be held accountable, because that weapon and money end at this action, and a tragedy action where the UN peacekeeper has actually been taken hostage.